Professor Dunn?
Yes?
My sister told me to come down and see you.
Ah, yes. Simone said you were coming to see me. Amy, isn't it?
Yes, that's me, Professor.
Please, call me Donald. Only my students call me that. Well, Professor Duck. I'm not sure why. Anyway.
Yes, thank you for agreeing to see me.
I remember seeing the accident on the news. I saw the wreck. I wondered how anyone could survive, let alone your miraculous avoidance of major injury.
It's no telling you. I've needed to see somebody like you.
When I spoke to your sister, I thought you had an interesting story.
It's not a story. I really don't know where to start. I really don't think anybody can help me.
You really don't remember me.
No, this is the first time we've met, unless you...
See, that's why Simone thought you should come down and speak to me.
And?
The brain is such a complex thing, and if what Simone says is true, and you really didn't seem to recognize me. Let me explain. What you're experiencing is an anomaly, a paradigm shift.
A what shift?
An example would be, everyone thought the Earth was flat, and what a crazy idea it would be that the Earth was round. But eventually, the undeniable truth had to come out, and everyone's perception changed.
So, what's happened to me? Could change life as we know it?
So usually when there's an anomaly, the first thing is that it's ignored or rejected.
Absolutely. I mean, even trying to get anybody to discuss this with me has been impossible.
Within the anomaly, there may be an attempt to explain it. Possibly the microtubules that hold your consciousness could hold the consciousness of another person at the time of death.
Well, it seems plausible.
So, tell me what happened when you had your accident.
It's like a surreal dream. Maybe. From what I've looked into, it's almost like a higher awareness.
Do you think it felt more like remote viewing or astral projection?
No, it's more like me. Like...
Tell me exactly what happened.
I've just been to visit relatives. I'd lived a dull, normal life, you might say. I saw this woman hitchhiking along the road, so I stopped to pick her up. Asked if she was okay. She said, "Yeah, sure, just take me away as far as you can go." Which must have been 3 minutes later. I could feel myself lift out of my body. The peace, the calmness, worries and troubles of life just gone. I looked over and saw Amy. She died. She was moving towards the light, tunnel to beyond. I could see Amy ahead of me. The paramedics were still trying to save us. I stopped moving towards the light. I got pulled back.
So, what did he say then?
Sorry, what?
What did Donald say after you explained the accident?
Well, he talked about perception. He gave me some half-understandable comparison between consciousness and the speed of light.
So it was more of an exploration of consciousness rather than actually helping.
Simone, nobody can help me.
Yeah, I suppose it's only theory.
Hey, what's wrong?
Just feels like I've lost my big sister again. I was so pleased to hear that you were alive and recovering in hospital.
Simone, I'm so sorry. All I've been thinking about is what I've been going through, not what you've been going through.
I remember running into the hospital. My boyfriend Joe was waiting for me. And Mum was talking to the nurses.
Simone!
Is she alright? Is Amy okay?
The nurse has just spoken to you, ma'am. She's going to be all right.
Thank God.
Come on, she's just down here.
Oh, you're here, darling. Have you heard? She's going to be okay.
Yeah, Joe just told me.
The nurse said she's awake and talking.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, she's awake. She's just a bit confused.
Okay.
About anything specific?
Yeah, she was convinced that she was driving the car, but she's got no recollection of... Oh,
Stop there! Amy! Amy! Amy!
Don't worry. Let's get you back inside.
I'm so sorry, sir. My sister's confused.
Really? She knew my name.
I vaguely remember coming out of the ward. I was still groggy from the anesthetic.
So, that was your husband?
Yeah. Was.
Hey! What's that book that Donald has given you?
I asked him if he believed me.
In your research, I don't suppose you came across part of the brain called the pineal gland.
Yes, but...
Well, you may have heard some things about it from a scientific point of view. The pineal gland has been talked about as the projector of human consciousness itself. I've never seen anything like this in the flesh. I've heard stories of people projecting their consciousness from their bodies for short periods of time, but never a complete projection into another being.
So, you believe me then?
In a word, no. We go back to the paradigm shift. I'd lose my job if anyone thought for a moment I believed in such nonsense. I think it's time for you to leave.
According to Wikipedia, S.A. Mills is ghostwritten. But it's probably Donald himself that has written it.
Well, maybe some good bedtime reading.
Well, on that note, I'll leave you to it, and we'll talk more in the morning.
Look, Simone, thank you. I've never had a sister.
Well, you got one now.
consciousness, you are aware.
I'm not afraid.
Yes, as I can see.
Is this a dream?
It's not a lucid one.
I can hear you. But you're not talking. Who are you?
I'm a part of consciousness, a part just like you.
Are there common elements in all things?
How do you feel with that matter being sentient?
Form. A combination. More than the sum of its parts.
An escalation, a higher sense of knowing.
Is that the meaning of life? The escalation?
A baby to a young child, the child to an adult, the adult to the elderly. Reversal. But to die without death. Evolution.
Creation.
The primacy of consciousness. The start and the new beginning. Understanding the human mind. If the neurons are still active. They have the power to bring any consciousness back. Evolution. Where are we going? I don't know. In a million worlds, the truth is never told. Where is the beginning and where is the end? And where are we going, as there is no end?
What are my choices? This life is not mine. Where can I go? When will it end?